welcome, Ayubowan. So in this lesson, we're going to focus on noun phrases. Now, the before lesson was also on noun phrases, but if you can see here, it was different, okay? We were using the infinitives and the present participles. Here, we are using noun phrases as objects of prepositions. So, different use, but still noun phrases, right? A noun phrase beginning with a present participle can be the object of the preposition before it. The woman insisted on, so on is a preposition. Seeing the CEO, present participle, object of the preposition on. So you can see that, right? So this is the main clause. This is the noun phrase, and before that you have a preposition. What is the preposition? On, and it goes along with the present participle. Now don't think this present participle, oh, it's a big word. It's not, right? It's just like the ing form of it, right? All right. Next one. A noun phrase beginning with an infinitive cannot be the object of a preposition. Let's have a look at it. My father is fond of making jokes. Of is a preposition. Making is a present participle and it is before the preposition of, and therefore this is correct. But my father is fond of to make. You cannot have the infinitive. That's wrong if you have a preposition before that. Okay? So, if the noun phrase is beginning with an infinitive, it cannot be the object of a preposition. Alright? So, that is a rule you need to remember. Because when I read a lot of writings, I see these errors. And when I circle it and I tell them, they say, oh, miss, we didn't know about it. So what is the rule behind it? Okay. Now, for us, if you're going to, use the language from a very young age, then the young learners, and when they grow up, I have seen, because I've taught from very early learners to the adults, right? They kind of use it naturally. But if you're an adult now and you're trying to learn English, then you need to learn the rules. And when you are learning the rules, it can be a bit difficult, but I want you to focus. And if you can see, I haven't put a lot of activities. Okay, I have done only a few, and even noun phrases, I have not put them all together. I have broken up the lessons, right, and put it for you as a small video so that it's easy for you to understand and you don't get too tired to review these lessons. Okay. But of course, there are so many, right? I've only put up the important ones. So, what do I always tell you? Be an independent learner. Go out there and find more information about noun phrases, right? When a noun phrase is used as a complement, it occurs after a link verb. When it is used as an object of a preposition, it occurs after the preposition. Okay? So, what was his goal? To master the violin. Let's see. His goal was, so the link is a verb there, was to master the violin. Okay? So, you can see that. To master the violin, and that is the complement. What is Jenny skillful at? Repairing laptops. So Jenny is skillful at repairing laptops, right? So here, preposition, object of the preposition, repairing laptops. Here, his goal was to master because this acts like the complement. Okay? Find out why B is correct and A is wrong. The doctor checked my temperature after took my blood pressure, whereas it should be after taking my blood pressure. Because why? What's the rule here? What is after? Is it a linking verb or is it a preposition? It's a preposition, okay? So, after taking. So, you can see, remember my rule? Preposition, so it has to be the object to the preposition, right? Or just in an easier way, after the preposition, you have to have the present participle form. Remember, I taught you the rule. He wants to be helpful besides to be killed. Okay? You can't. Preposition. Beside. Next. Okay, so besides being liked. Present participle form. So B is correct, right? Underline the noun phrases that are objects of prepositions, right? They've discussed seriously about offering her a scholarship. Anita is satisfied with being a full-time housewife. She persisted in doing things her own way. He was harshly rebuked for crossing the border without a passport. For crossing. I honor myself on keeping all my promises. Okay, so you can underline the noun phrase. Okay, I just underlined the start of it. Okay, so actually, let me just underline the noun phrase. There you go. If not, you get confused. There you are. Okay, right? Her friend persuaded her into exchanging the new frock. Everybody should work towards making this country developed and peaceful. Selena felt guilty after breaking the law. The pianist needs more time before holding a solo concert. Okay? He can't accomplish lasting success by faking his way around. Okay, so there we have identified the noun phrases that are objects of prepositions. Alright, so moving on to the next one. Fill in the blanks with suitable words in the box. Besides, caring, of, on, restoring, seeing, starting, telling, through, without. That angelic-looking witness is not above blank a lie. Okay, so it should be telling. Lenny gradually learned tact, blank, handling tricky situations. Put down the word. He was in trauma and passed blank about nobility. Many of them were against afresh elsewhere. My secretary typed out the document blank, making a single mistake. We love the excitement blank meeting challenged in life. They cheered uproariously upon blank their favorite cricketer. Travel is thrilling blank broadening the intellect. Entry depends blank obtaining great results. The plastic surgeon has specialized in blank faces disfigured by accidents. Right, have you finished marking the answers? Let us quickly have a look at it. Telling, through, caring, starting, without, of, seeing, besides, on, restoring. Okay? Right, so the next one. Rearrange the words to form noun phrases and complete the sentences. By the time I was beyond feeling of slightest sadness, the twinge, right? So now what you have to do first is rearrange this, right? So by the time I was beyond feeling the slightest twinge of sadness, right? So when you put it into the sentence completely, by the time I was beyond feeling the slightest twinge of sadness. Next one, she was given the duty of cooking for the entire family. Okay, so she was given the duty of cooking for the entire family. Right, next one. He drew the line at a choose for her field letting us. He drew the line at letting us choose a field for her. Okay, so let us see. He drew the line at letting us choose a field for her. Okay. My friend has trouble stemming from a as been child having unwell. Stemming from having been unwell as a child. Okay. So my friend has troubles stemming from having been unwell as a child. The family argue over dividing ancestral. Dividing the ancestral property. Okay, so let's write it down. The family argued over dividing the the ancestral property. Sometimes ragging is practiced under the pretext of feel home making new students, of making new students feel at home. I just put the numbers, so let's write it. Sometimes ragging is practiced under the pretext of making new students feel at home. So moving on to the next activity, circle the letters of the correct sentence or sentences. She rebelled against given up her. Now, so that's wrong. Against given up, wrong. She balked at giving up her. Okay. Giving up. Seems okay. She protested against giving up her room. Seems okay. So B and C. Second one. He was given a badge as well as being made captain. Okay, so seems okay. He was given a badge as well as be made captain. Wrong. He was given a badge as well as was made captain. So you can't say was made captain after as well as, right? So A is the correct answer. Next one, the employees are used to having their orders obeyed. The employees are accustomed to being obeyed. The employees are used to be obeyed. Okay. So, which one do you think, or which sentences do you think are correct? Have a go on your own and then I'll mark the answers. They banked on to be warmly greeted. They were confident of getting a warm greeting. They banked on receiving a warm greeting. Right. So the employees are used to having their orders obeyed. Correct. The employees are accustomed to being obeyed. Correct. But used to be obeyed is wrong. So A and B are correct. Next one. They were banked on to be warmly greeted is wrong, but they were confident of getting a warm greeting. Correct. They banked on receiving a warm greeting is also correct. So B and C are both correct. The next two sentences, 5 and 6. The patriotic thought dying was preferable to being betrayed. The patriotic thought dying was preferable than being betrayed. The patriotic thought dying was better than being betrayed. Number 6. Kennedy is hesitant about signing up for English classes. Kennedy is hesitant about signing up for English classes. Kennedy is hesitant to sign up for English classes. So mark the answers on your own and then I'll have a go. So here, the patriotic thought dying was preferable to being betrayed. That's correct. The patriotic thought dying was preferable than being betrayed. Wrong. The patriotic thought dying was better than being betrayed. Correct. Okay, so A and C. And here, Kennedy is hesitant about signing up for English classes. So about signing, so that's the only one that is correct. Okay? Alright, so moving on into the next one. Rewrite the sentences correctly using noun phrases that are objects of prepositions. My mother has saved me from become a heroin addict. So if we change it, this bit has to change, okay? My mother has saved me from becoming a heroin addict. He is completely justified on making that statement. No, not on. It should be he. Oops. Let me pick. He is completely justified in making that statement. Okay? Oh, we don't need a comma there, right? It's just a dot. We don't need that there, right? He impressed us by to repair both cars. He impressed us by repairing both cars. Next one. She looked forward to see him next month. Okay. We should write it properly. She looked forward to seeing him next month. They are having second thoughts about promote her. They are having second thoughts about promoting her. There's no solution short of changing the entire system. There's no solution short of. Preposition is of, right? Of changing the entire system. All right. Okay, so underline the correct words in the brackets. So let's have a look at the passage. I had long set my heart on learning to drive. I took driving lessons immediately after sitting for my school certificate exam. Somehow, I had no difficulty in backing into a parking lot. My instructor praised me warmly for doing this perfectly the very first time. I was less successful, however, when it came to stopping on a slope. I could not restart the car without letting it slide backwards. Once, I frightened another learner behind me into backing right to the bottom of a hill. My instructor nearly despaired of getting me ready for the test. I failed it twice before obtaining my license. Even then, the examiner could not refrain from making this remark. If cars were built to go backwards, you'd make a fine driver. Okay, so a bit hilarious also. So this person could not reverse the car, and the examiner himself made a remark and said, oh, if the cars were to go backwards, you'd make a perfect fine driver. Okay, so after 2 attempts, I think probably the student would have passed. So this passage was extracted from Grammar Builder 4, and audio credits go to the authors, right? So I think we've come to the end of this lesson. Again, I want to stress how important it is, right? So noun phrases are important because most students don't know this lesson, okay? And when they write, they don't know if we should use the ing form or should we use it along with to, right? So they make a lot of mistakes, especially in their writing task 2. Sometimes this is obviously used in writing task 1 as well, but mainly I see lots of errors in writing task 2, and I want you to focus on these lessons, right? And add more knowledge by doing more activities. Obviously, you can find more activities outside these lessons. I'd like you to practice it and then see how well you do, okay? The most important thing in grammar is not just isolating it and learning it, but using it in your writing, okay? So I think with that, we've come to the end of this lesson where we had a look at noun phrases as objects of prepositions.